So what I'm gonna do next is try and get the DAW connection running. The board does support MADI, so it shouldn't be too complicated. I happen to have an RME MADI face, and you can see already I have it hooked up to one of the optical ports of the switch. This one is for the DAW inputs. So we're going to connect this to my laptop and see if we can get sound on multiple channels. So we are going to DAW 1, input 1, and now we're using the Easy Connect function. And you can see the management server logging all the connections 1 to 16. My board does have 40 inputs, so I am continuing here. Switching over to 25. No, forgot one. 25. .40 channels. Now let me go into Ableton. Switch to the MADI face. And I already pre-configured something where I would send to all the channels. Wait. So I'm going to tell him go to 1 and 2. And on the board you're now seeing signal lights almost everywhere. And if I pull up some faders, you also have it here on the board. What I noticed, and I did that before and we had it with the other interface, somehow my first, in this case, I don't have a fader installed on the 7, but let me access channel 7. And then if I go to the meter position, put it on input, channel 7 does get an input. I can also see it here, right? So the first 6 don't. Now my theory is that this has something to do with the DSP. I might have a failure on the DSP board. So if I'm looking at the first board. Okay, so we're back on the Lawo. Let me show you. This is how it looks like. Now, I left off last time with the testing setup where I would have MADI connection to the system. And now I'm trying to get signal on every channel. Now last time I failed with some of the first channels not receiving audio, and this made the initial setup and testing quite funky because I would start somewhere later, maybe 9 or something, right? Now as you can see, I managed to get all of the first channels working with signal. Let me show you what I did. Actually kind of logical. So on the switch, the DSP furthest to the left had a red light going on somewhere inside. So I changed it for the channel 6 I had, right? Then the channel 6 would not even react properly to the LED test, which I thought was kind of odd. Then I took that out and put the 5 in. You can see here my original numbering, right? And now it works flawlessly. Now, here I have both. And one of them I noticed, the number 5, that didn't react properly. I kind of took apart to see what's going on inside, and also because on startup I used to have some warning messages about boards 3 and 6, but the 3 is now actually working fine. I have the number 1 and 6. We'll see. For now, I'm working fine with just 4 DSP boards. Now you can configure this setup for the amount of DSP you have available. And if I go to 4, I can see I'm still working, but with a maximum, I think Logic is set up well. We have 12 groups, 48 inputs. That's not too luxurious, but it still works. I'm not gonna complain. I would love to have 64 to use the full MIDI stream, but because of control messages, I think I have a MIDI stream of... Okay, and I set everything up. Trying to fill as much channels as possible on the board. And so far, most of it works, but as you can see, there is 4 channels missing here and 2 more here, so 6 channels. Well, next would be checking the DSP and swapping around. But knowing that the first board goes to 12, then the next board should go to 25. So it should be board number 2. And let's see if we can get this replaced, and then we would have a fully functioning board. For now, does that make sense? I hope so. Let's see what it offers us with 3 DSP boards installed. If I go to configuration page again, 3 is not possible here. We see, maybe I can get some of the other boards working. Or I swap something around. Let's try. Okay, we are back testing the DSP. And I've gotten deeper into the DSP configuration. Also, I found very detailed info on how the processing is allocated on the DSPs, and when testing I found that on DSP board number 3, the 3rd cluster had problems. Playing back channel 45 and 46. Right, so it had to be here. And now to confirm this, because I didn't have anything else allocated on this, to confirm it, I looked for another configuration. And here we go with variation 5, where there's also some 13 and 16 on the board 3. Now I already have this channel going to the sums 13 to 16, and you can see I've routed them back to these first 4 channels, and they arrive. Now if I switch to the variation 5, where these sums are on the problematic cluster number 3 of board 3, for 5 here, load it. You can see it is no longer played back. So I know on board 3, my 3rd cluster has a problem. Which is cool so far. And I will test the other 2 boards. Now one doesn't connect at all, and the other one has problems. I might make 1 out of 2 and then see how I get the last one working. But yeah, this has been cool so far. See ya. Now, here I have one of the DSP boards taken apart. From the outside, I could see which ones were working and which ones not, just by seeing the corresponding lights flash. And yeah, cluster 3 is looking like this. And just by optical inspection, this does not look very nice. I don't know if this will work after just cleaning, but it looks like some parts here were, yeah, burned or leaking. So I swapped this for this board, taking from another DSP board that does not respond. This is looking good. I hope that it works first try. And yeah, maybe this is my first repair on the Switch. Look at that DSP. So nice. And there you can see it already. Cluster 3 is online and working. I put it in slot 4. The access is from both sides, and there we go. Board 4, cluster 3. Online. 43 to 48. Nice! Yeah, we repaired a thing. So cool. Now let's see if we can get the other board working as well, and then I have 4 boards, which is nice. The other 2 seem to have more general issues. But I'll be happy with 4. I mean, with 4 boards, if I look up the allocation, 54 inputs. That's okay. I mean, I have more interfaces, right? But yeah, for now, I mean 5, 72 is a dream. And then 6, 80 inputs. That's nice. Here I can see 90 inputs. Yeah. Let's see how far we get. But for now, I'm happy. This is online. See you later. Okay, now let me show you this. I worked on the DSP and finally got 4 boards working completely. You can see here I have some of the leftover parts from this repair. I hope that I get to repair some of those. Maybe there's just some capacitors leaking. I don't know. I have to get into those. See what's up there. And then with these 2 boards, I know that the one functions. It just had 0 functioning DSP clusters on it. And this one does not function, which is weird. But anyways, back to the board now. Look at that. Let me find a better angle for this. Yes. Oh, that's so cool. Look at that. I managed to get the DSP working in a way that I have, and you can see up until here 48 inputs working. They all get signal via MADI. Yeah, which is super cool. And then I have it on the meters as well. Now you can see this one does not show because the meter here is post fader. So if I choose the meter position to input, and there we go, working as well. Super nice. Now here this panel is not working, and I don't know if it is the hardware or something in the cabling. So in the next step I'll start to swap this around. Yeah, but for now I am very happy. And now starting to use the matrix and essentially the board. I really like it. It's fun. The routing is super powerful. It's digital. Now imagine this was early, like super early digital, right? And this is your patch bay. You see no patch bay here. Every analog board had one, very important. This one, it's this, and I like it. You can basically connect everything, make all the connections digital, save them with the project, save everything with the project, right? You save the DSP configuration, you save your patching, your routing. Super, super cool. But yeah, all for laters. This is it for today. Let me get the other